So it's Friday. Oh, so to start off, I did tell you that, yeah, I did have to reschedule this tonight. We were running late, but had a super great reason. Um, and that super great reason is that it was my grandson's birthday, and my grandson came over, and we had presents and cake and pizza, and uh, he was playing some. It wasn't Wii games. It was Oculus or something, I think. Yeah, he was playing a VR game for a while. So yeah, we were busy doing that when it was time for the live to start. So yeah, so we were there instead of here, but now we're here, and let's talk about some cool stuff. So let's start with. Do we want to start with
grandchildren?
Do we want to start with the product, or do we want to start with what you did this week? Okay, we'll start with the product. So
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, the sun went down. It's past your bedtime.
Exactly.
Good news. That means that, by June, you'll get to stay up until 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So this week's featured product is the NICU Octo. This is the product.
It's all washed out on yours. I don't know. I told you to give it to me earlier.
All right. So this is and correct me if I'm saying this wrong. This is an all crochet. There's no extra pieces to it. There's not even any like safety eyes. There's
one single.
It's all
piece,
it's one single piece. So something these can be used for is for young children, or specifically NICU children or infants, very small babies, because it can give them something they can cuddle with, and the different twisty tentacles on it give it some texture so that they can they'll interact with the texture, and they'll pull on those or squeeze those, and that kind of gives them some tactile interaction as well. When they are very small and they don't have a way to do anything.
And it grows with them, and as they get bigger, as our granddaughter likes to do, they start chewing on them and dragging it around by the tentacles, and they can have, I don't know if you can hear that, a rattle in them. But yes, there's no eyes, no safety eyes. Eyes can be embroidered onto it, but like for our granddaughter, hers has none. She actually has two. She has a smaller one, and then she has this one that she keeps at our house for when she visits. They are machine washable.
So and this brings up a good question, because I know I've asked this a couple of times, and I forget the answer. But all right, I get to play with it. No, I guess it's not going to set up.
Here, give me.
All right. When you're going to wash something like that, you said it's machine washable. This or any of your other products
depends upon the product.
How would you wash this one? Just like toss it on the gentle side, or can I toss it in with my socks? Or okay, maybe not my socks, but how would you wash that?
It depends upon the product, but this one can go in with, yes, it could go in with your socks or the towels. Some of them are lay flat to dry. This is actually able to be put in on the delicate cycle in the dryer also.
Okay. All right. But something like the shawl that we did last week, that we talked about last week, that would be a lay flat to dry.
You would do a lay flat to dry, okay. Yes.
Pullover shawl. Yeah, that thing that, yeah, okay.
The shawl was that really pretty thing that we saw this week that was being made at Unraveled.
Oh, okay. Which was the other cool thing that I thought you might want to talk about was,
I was so lost.
Yeah, on Wednesday we were out at Unraveled for Unraveled Yarn Boutique. here in downtown Paragould. We were there for a special Wednesday evening knitting time or stitching time, little stitching night with a special guest, Knitting Natty.
Do you have that thing that I had, the video?
Here you go. This was Wednesday night. This is at Unraveled Yarn Boutique, and the three lovely ladies in the photo are my personal favorite on the left, and that would be your very own Steel and Stitches Designs. In the middle is Knitting Natty. She's a YouTube personality, and she makes a lot of different knitting and crochet patterns. Right now, her and her husband are on an adventure. They've taken about a year off of their job, and they're in a van and they're traveling around the country. Their goal is to by, I think she said October of
Yes.
this year is when they're going to end. By October of this year, they want to have visited uh, a yarn shop or a knitting club or something fiber arts related in all 50 states. That's their goal. Um, Interestingly enough, she also mentioned that there was one challenge that they had is that she doesn't know of any yarn shops in Hawaii.
No, the one that was there is closed.
Yeah. So, and then not to, I'm not trying to leave anyone out, but the lovely young lady on the right would be Petra, the owner of Unraveled.
Yeah, none of that would have been possible without her.
That's right. None of, I wouldn't have the, or I wouldn't have purchased the yarn winder without her either. So I guess I can blame her for spending money. I would probably spend it anyway if I wasn't spending it there. And this way I get to spend it someplace where I'm supporting local and I'm super fine with that.
I enjoy supporting our local yarn shop.
Yeah, even if Petra and I have, very different tastes when it comes to design.
Hey, I just think that sign over top of us in that picture is really awesome.
Yeah.
That's our new neon sign.
Yeah, the new neon sign is very cool. I need to get one of those. But it would look really weird to have something behind me that says Unraveled.
Okay.
All right. So I think I'm funny.
Looking?
No, I mean I know that. But so anyway, yeah, that's our featured product. Hey, that's how to take care of our featured product. What else do we need to talk about tonight? I like that when I look at you, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. We have our market coming up in April that you were going to talk about.
The PineLog Market. That's right. Yeah. The PineLog Market is coming up in the end of April, the last weekend in April, like the 26th, 27th, I think. If I remember my dates right. Let me double check that. It's pretty close to there. Yes, the 26th and 27th. Friday and Saturday, April 26th and 27th will be the PineLog Market. The PineLog Market is honestly probably I'm going to say it is the best put together market that I've seen and I've had the ability to be a part of. It's so well done that it probably makes me think some of the others aren't done quite as well, just because I have something so fantastic to compare against. But it's a family affair. It's hosted on an old dairy farm. It's a 2-day outdoor event, and they just do a great job of marketing, taking care of the vendors as well as the guests that visit. So it's super great. They are still looking for a few food vendors. They would like to have 1 or 2 more food trucks out there for the event. So if you are a food truck, or if you know somebody with a food truck that thinks they might be interested in participating and attending that event, let them know to go to PineLog Market. I think it's PineLogMarket.com, or you can go to PineLog Market on Facebook and you can get all the information that you need. Sorry? Or Instagram? I didn't know they had Instagram. I don't do a lot of Instagram, to be honest. So it's fair for me not to know much about Instagram. But yeah, you can check out any of those social media platforms, and you can get the details about what you need to do in order to fill out the application and get involved and sign up for that. If being a food vendor at a 2-day event is something you'd be interested in. We'll tell you, and this is something to keep in mind, that there's how many vendors do you think they have out there? Craft vendors.
Well, remember, it's not just craft vendors either, though.
So, I mean, how many booths do you think they have set up? So 60, 80?
I think this year's going to be closer to 100.
Okay. So as a food vendor, imagine that you've got 80 to 100 captive audience members who are going to have the ability, and they're going to be hungry. They're going to want to eat, and you're going to have the opportunity to serve not only the guests that come, but you're going to have the opportunity to serve the vendors that are there, the other vendors. So, yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're not going to leave and go get something.
Unless you're sending somebody else for it, you are there.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's like I said, it is pretty much a captive audience where they're at for. So I'm excited. I'm personally excited about, the food trucks that are going to be there, because I know that just as a participant in the event, I'm going to be spending a significant amount of time and money at those food vendors. So, I really think it's a great opportunity. You'll make money from the guests. You'll also make money from the other vendors that are there. So, if you know somebody has a food truck, or a couple of people that have food trucks that might be interested in setting up there, please pass the word along. I'd very much like to see a variety of food there. If you don't, a really good example of the kind of captive audience that you have, at the last market we went, it rained. It rained on Friday evening / early Saturday morning. So they postponed opening the event because it was really wet and soggy. They wanted to let the sun come out and give it a little bit of time to dry out and everything, so there'd be a more pleasant experience for all parties involved. And there was a barbecue truck that was there, and he just decided not to show up until 3 or 4 hours after they opened. But right next to him was a little guy with a hot dog stand. And I was talking to the guy with the hot dog stand, and he said he could not believe how busy he was. He probably sold, he was really scared he was going to run out of food. He was selling that many hot dogs because, I mean, he figured that he'd sell some, but he didn't realize he was going to do so well. And part of the reason why he did so well is because the other guy didn't bother to show up. I don't know this for certain, but I have a suspicion that barbecue truck will not be back this year. But anyway, that's just, kind of example. There definitely is a market there, and it would be it's a great service. I mean, you don't even have to think of it as like a captive audience. It is a service because, the people that are working still have to eat, and, you're kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, and if you're by yourself, what else are you going to do? Anyway, so that's the PineLog Market, and it'll be the end of April, and Steel and Stitches will be there. I don't know if I'm going to show up as a pirate again this year. Or no, wait, it wasn't a pirate. It was the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Yes. I don't know what I'm going to show up as. Where I work, we had an event at work, and they asked me to dress up as the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. So I was dressed up as the Beast, and I went around to all of our offices, and I was taking pictures with all of our staff. I did that Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon, I just left from work and I went to the market. So I showed up at the market and yes, was still in my full beast regalia and makeup and everything, and wandered around, and it provided a great conversation starter because everybody was either asking why I was dressed up or they were looking at me like I was crazy. And some of them were doing both. Yeah, but they didn't know me yet. They had to introduce themselves before they knew I was crazy. Otherwise, they just have to suspect that I'm crazy. So we talked about our featured Friday product, the NICU Octo, and the NICU Octo is not currently on the Steel and Stitches website, but it will be up there
by the end of the night.
We can probably get it up there tonight.
Like
Yeah,
next week?
it's only 9 o'clock, so I can probably get that done. Whether or not I'll get that done before Jersey goes to bed or not is an entirely different question. But we will get it done. I will get the NICU Octo up on the Steel and Stitches Designs website.
And the link
Here
for
shortly.
it will end up in the description.
Okay, the link will be in the description. I promise. That's your job.
I did it last.
Oh, hey, even better. All right, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Um, Share with us your ideas. Tell us what you're working on, what your projects are. Tell us what kind of products you would like to see, and we can talk about some products on your wish list as well. So until we see you next weekend, I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great week next week. Be careful, take care of each other, and we will see you soon. Good night, everybody.